Welcome back to Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network. You can reach the guys with the South Carolina Education Lottery lucky number, 888-898-2525. That's 888-898-2525. Now back to Phil and Chris with the second hour of Sports Talk on the Sports Talk Media Network.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sports Talk Media Network. Here on a Monday night, we are up at Erskine College as we are continuing with the Palmetto Pigskin Tour all this week and into next week. It is time to visit with our good friends here with the Flying Fleet. Let's welcome in Coach Shap Boyd, ready to get it going again for another season. First of all, it's great to have you with us. Appreciate you coming by for a visit.
It's good to be back. Glad to have you back on campus.
Always fun coming up here because, like I said, you got to really want to come to Erskine to get to Erskine.
You don't just wander by here usually.
And don't miss a turn because you'll end up in Abbeville or you'll end up in 96 or someplace like that. So, no, it's a great area. It's a beautiful area for a small college. And I know you have put last year behind you, I'm sure, pretty quickly and turned the page to getting ready for 2024. What's it been like getting this team together and ready to go in 24?
Well, as in everything around here, it's been a process. We had quite a few coaches change as well, and so there's kind of like out with the old and in with the new. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's been a lot of change this past year, and you know, as a startup program, getting ready to play our fourth fall season. You know, there's constant change anyway, and I feel like last year we probably had more than our normal allotment, but it's been good. It's been great actually, mm-hmm. and had a really good spring, and then we ended up bringing in a couple of coaches afterwards, and had a chance to get with them during the summer, and they kind of fit right in, and I think they've kind of hit the ground running, and I think things have gone well.
What do you feel best about with this team coming out of camp, getting ready for the start of what will be a pretty difficult schedule for you?
I think the biggest strides that we've made have been, we've been talking about this. I mean, you and I have been talking about this since we started, is with the offensive line, and just the maturation of some of the kids that were here, and then bringing in some kids. It's something that has been evolving, and you can kind of see it coming into fruition, I think, right now. So,
when you go through a tough season like you did last season, what did you learn as a head coach? Just trying to keep everything together, keep your players together, keep the motivation going and the attitude in a positive way.
That I don't wish that on anybody. But I'll tell you what, you find out who's in and who's not, and that's not just talking about players. That's talking about coaches. It's talking about anybody and everybody that's around the program. But you really find out who is supportive, who cares, and so that's kind of telling. And I think it was positive. It was positive to see the kids that responded, and I think have taken the challenge and have stepped up, and you'll be talking to a couple of them after you get through with me. But just a couple of the kids that have been around this program a long time, and they're very hungry, and as we all are, but they know, and they know things don't happen overnight, and so anyway, but we feel like we're taking steps, and we just got to continue to keep pushing.
And the program, the athletic department, the program, you're moving into a new league this year. And how has that transition gone? What are you expecting from this new
I'll
experience?
be honest with you. Well, from the new experience, arguably you're talking about the premier D2 conference in the country. And I'm sure people would argue with that, but go back and look at your national champions and see where they're coming from. It's pretty easy to figure it out. And so, it's going to be – to say it's going to be a challenge, that's – but you know what? The one thing I do know is, our kids aren't going to flinch. We're going to practice each week. We're going to line up. We're going to go, tee it up on Saturday, and we're going to play for 60 minutes. And I think that's probably been the thing that I would say is that we're going to show up and we're going to play for 60 minutes. So, I mean, I think, to be honest with you, I don't have expectations. I don't even, we don't coach in this league. We don't know this league, and we're just passing through. We're like a ship in the night. So, it's, I'll be honest with you, I'm looking forward to the following year. But we got guys right now that with the challenge that's on the plate right now, we fully understand what the challenge is that we're looking at.
Explain to people exactly what you're going through with your football program related to your conference.
Well, we were non-conference, and then we were SAC for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. Well, we weren't, I guess, in the SAC. We were probably just passing through there too. And then they needed somewhere to go while the Carolina Conference was getting established or set up, which is set to start in 25. And so in the meantime, they decided the Gulf South was the place for us to go. So, hey, that's where we are, know. And, and ultimately, I think kids want to play against the best. Well, they're going to get a chance to play against the best. So,
yeah. I mean, you look at your schedule will include the likes of Valdosta State, West Alabama, North Greenville, Mississippi College, West Florida, some teams that have been pretty good D2 teams for a while.
I think there's 3 in the top 5 or something like that or whatever it is. But
and you're going to play Presbyterian.
And Presbyterian.
Yeah.
So,
how about that game? How do you feel about getting a shot with those guys and you get them at your place?
We do. We get them at Greenwood. It'll be a night game. Probably be a decent crowd. To be honest with you, I don't really – whether I'm playing them or whether I'm playing whoever, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to whoever we line up against, and I don't have any preferences. I don't have any, these kids. I don't care if we go play in the parking lot. I really don't care. I mean, they care. I mean, I know they probably get frustrated with me at times.
Yeah.
They care about some of that stuff, but I don't really care who we play. I just want to. I'm glad we're lining up and we're playing, and we got 11 games, and let's go.
Offense struggled a good bit last year. How's it looked in camp? What do you think you're going to put on the field this year?
Well, I think it's going to be rebranded. It's a. I mean, it may, at appearance sake, it may look like you're starting in the same place, but we're not even close. It's a very different look. It's a very different feel. We've got, like I said, we've grown some kids up in the program, and then we've had some additions from outside. And and I think that process has, we've got some kids that are hardened, and I think it shows. I mean, I know right now defensively we have more than our hands full going against our offense. And they're we talked about wanting to be able to run the ball and doing things like that. And those are the things that we've been working towards. And that objective will certainly be front and center this year. I mean, we want to be able to run the ball, but we also have other weapons too. So.
Hey, I remember when you came here. I mean, you wanted to be a running football team. You wanted to be a very physical offensive team. That's kind of what you cut your teeth on.
And I would say that we are finally getting towards what I've been pointing towards.
Because offensive line.
I would say the offensive line.
Yeah.
I would say the offensive line. Yep. They've come a long way, and we have a new offensive line coach that's doing a great job with them, and Coach Manley, and so anyway, that's been a process, as you know, but you're not going to do anything in college football without an offensive line. I mean, you need a trigger man. I get it, but if you don't have anybody in front of your trigger man, it doesn't really matter who your trigger man is because it's kind of hard to throw when you're on your back. So,
yeah.
It's just a. I don't know. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different feel. It's a different era. New OC. It's it feels good. It feels good. It feels good. It feels good to watch them. Although I'm not always happy with some of the things they're doing to me.
Yeah.
But as the DC,
are you more optimistic about this team than anyone you've had to this point?
We're a better team than any team that we've had to this point. Now, having said that, will it show itself out on the field? I think it will. Mm-hmm. People that have seen us play will see a difference. But we still got to go out and take care of business.
Yeah.
But no, it's the most talented team. we don't look like a high school team probably lining up and playing a college team. Now, we might look like a high school team compared to some of these cats we're playing. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're much bigger. You know, we've got kids that look more like college football players than where we've been in the past. So, you know, the program's growing up, as it should. I mean, like I said, fourth fall season. You know, it's maturing, it's growing, and there's still a good nucleus of kids that have come in the old-fashioned way and, you know, done the weights and grown up here at Erskine, and they're kind of working their way up. And, you know, of course, when we've graduated a bunch of those kids, too. We've graduated like 60 kids in the last 2 years, all of which had eligibility left, unfortunately.
Yeah.
We got a very small junior class, very small senior class.
And many of those or some of those moved on to other programs with some eligibility?
Correct.
Yeah.
A lot of them did.
Yeah.
A lot of them did. Well, you mentioned one to me a second ago.
Yeah, one of them's up at Clemson, playing a little bit on their depth chart from what I saw. So as far as the overall development of the football plant up here, you know, things that you're trying to develop that will help you down the road, where are you there? You know, things like your practice facilities, maybe one day an on-campus facility, offices, weight rooms. I know you got your nice weight room over there. I've seen that before. Where are you in the overall general building process?
We're still in the early phases of any of that. Partly, you know, we have a new president that's come in, and he's been here 2 years now. So that's part of that. And then, but we things get better here. You know, it's Erskine, okay? Things don't happen fast here anyway. So things happen here gradually. But for example, you know, they're building another soccer field right now to basically let them have a new facility, and the older game soccer field will become part of our practice facility. We're utilizing it now along with the soccer teams because they're still finishing up the other field. But that's going to be a huge upgrade for us because, to be honest with you, you know, initially we're practicing on a 90-yard field. You know,
yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know, it's come a long way as far as that goes. I mean, and when we have that, we'll have the field, we'll have the soccer stadium, the old soccer stadium, plus our field across the street. So, I mean, our weight room's right there, our locker room's right there. I mean, we have what we need to build this program. And I think we're well on our way. So
your message to Fleet fans around the state going into this 24 season would be what?
You know, just stay with us. You know, it's to be continued. I mean, it's a building process, and we're growing this thing. I think we've got some awesome kids. I mean, I think probably the best collection of kids we've ever had. When I say, I don't mean necessarily players. I mean they're just really good kids, and as well as players. So everything is kind of moving in the right direction. I mean, it's just I don't know. I think you're going to see a vastly improved group out there. But again, you know, we are going to be playing up in competition just a little bit.
Well, I'll say this. You got a friendly opening schedule as far as where you play. Am I reading this right? It looks like you got 5 home games in a row
to
open the season. Now, that means you got to play a bunch of road games on the back end. But, I mean, if you can take care of business at home, that includes number 7 Valdosta State and number 18 Delta State in there.
Yeah, exactly. So, we've got, 5 home games to kind of get started, and that's a positive thing. And then we got a couple road trips that are going to be, lengthy. So
down to Mississippi, over to Alabama. Got some traveling to do. We wish you the best of luck. As always, thank you for having us here to visit with you. And we'll be checking in with you. Keep a close watch on the Flying Fleet this year.
Thank you very much.
See if you can do some damage in this league as you're just passing through like a tornado.
There we go. I'd like that.
Yeah.
I'd like to be a tornado passing through.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you very much, Coach Shap Boyd here at Erskine College. After the break, going to be joined by 2 of the Flying Fleet players, Craig Pender and Josh Komodo, coming up.